So I want to share something a little bit different and personal today. So my mum was the hardest person to get off the phone. Seriously. So if you started talking to her on the phone, she would talk and talk and talk. Now, don't get me wrong. I loved my mum. Hey, hang on. That sounds weird. So she died a couple of years ago. But that sounds weird. So let me try that again. So don't get me wrong. I love my mum. But she was the hardest person in the world to get off the phone. Honestly, you would be talking to her for hours and hours and hours. They were like marathon sessions. Until one point where, let me start that again. Just thinking about that, me and my sister call her the queen of, oh darling, just one more thing. Like that's what she would say at the end of everything. You say like, okay, mum, I've got to go. She'd be like, oh, just one more thing, darling. Just one. And you'd be like, oh, yep, just one more thing, yep. So anyway, so eventually my sister and I came up with a cunning plan. So let's say you had a cut-off time, like you had to make dinner at 7:00. What we would do is we would plan ahead. So you'd start signposting that you wanted to get off the phone about 15 minutes beforehand, right? So before 7:00, so 6:45, you'd say to mum, just gotta go, and she'd be like, oh, just one more thing, darling, and you do that. She'd talk for 15 more minutes, and then at 7 you could end the call perfectly, and it worked a charm, honestly. Now, obviously, we didn't just say, hey, mum, I've got to go. I mean, you could do that. It's maybe a little bit too direct. So the phrase that we used was, oh, mum, I'm sure you're really busy, so I'll let you go. Amazing. This phrase is top of all British phrases. This is the top one for politeness, but also getting what you want. So you're basically saying to someone on the phone, I want to end this call. Now, obviously, as a Brit, I can't do that. I can't be that direct. That would, oh my God, the shame, the horror of being honest. I couldn't do that possibly. So you have to be really indirect. And so what we'd say is, all right, mum, I'm sure you're really busy. I'll let you go. Because it sounds like you're being aware of their time. You're being considerate. And you're saying, hey, I don't want to take up any more of your time. So please go. But we're not really saying that, are we? We're saying, I'm kind of bored now. I'm kind of done with this conversation. Here's my exit phrase. And it works a charm. Oh, I'm sure you're really busy, so I'll let you go. Oh. And the person listening to that goes like, oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, I am really busy. Oh, that's very kind. Okay, yeah, great. Let's catch up soon. The perfect phrase. Incredible. Now, it's not just with phone calls with Brits. We do this with lots of things. We're super indirect. We speak in sort of roundabout ways. I did a video once called What Brits Say versus What They Really Mean. And it's basically that. We're saying stuff, but we don't really mean it. Another example of that is when we're exiting a social situation. So I remember, come with me. We're going to go to my great aunt's house in Milton Keynes. I'm 8 years old. We're sitting there. I mean, we're all having cups of tea. I am so bored. I mean, you can imagine, right? The adults are chatting. I'm just like, oh, please. I want to go play football. I want to hang out with my mates. We're there. I can see in my dad's eyes that he's also a little bit bored. So I'm kind of waiting. It's coming. It's coming. I can see it. He's sort of tapping his thigh with his fingers. He's ready to go as well. And I'm waiting. And then he opens his mouth and goes, right, we'd better make a move then. Hallelujah. Oh my goodness. This was the phrase I had been waiting for hours, because this meant that we could go. This phrase is a Brit's way of saying, I want to leave. Right, we'd better make a move. It's kind of almost a passive, kind of like, oh, I don't want to, but we'd better, And it's a great way to exit a social situation, particularly, one with family gatherings like that. Oh, we better make a move. Or it's going to be a lot of traffic. We'd better make a move. We often put in a little sort of phrase there, a little excuse or a reason. Oh, it's getting dark. We'd better make a move. Brilliant. These are such great phrases. All right, so for getting off the phone, for leaving a social situation. The other one that came to mind was when you want to say no to someone really politely. So this one came up with my partner, with my fiance, Shana. Shana is from India. She speaks immaculate English, but there are these subtleties of British English that she's learning, right? So this one, excuse me, this one that we did was she suggested something like, "Oh, do you want to go to the cinema tonight?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, we could do, or we could stay in." And she was like, "Oh, so yeah, we're able to, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, yeah, like we could do, yeah, like we are able to go to the cinema." And she was like, "Okay, so then let's go." I was like, "No, like what I meant was that we could do, but I don't really want to." And it's this amazing way that Brits say words, but they don't mean what they say. So when you say could do to a suggestion, an invitation, a suggestion, you're not saying we have the ability to do it. You're saying, I don't really want to do it. I don't have the enthusiasm to do it. Now, maybe you might still do it, right? She said, let's go to the cinema. I say, oh, we could do, or we could stay at home. She counters it with, oh, but I want to go, see this new film. Oh, okay. All right. We'll go see it. Excuse me. Have some water. But I think what we're really doing here is saying, in the most polite way and the most indirect way, I don't want to do it. So what we do is we often finish it off with a counter suggestion. So, yeah, we could do, or we could just grab a drink, okay? And then we're saying something that we would prefer to do. So Brits have this amazing way of saying actual words that don't really mean what they say, or making it seem like the other person is making the decision and you're not, but really you are. So it's this kind of myth that we have that Brits are really polite. And I generally think that we are fairly polite, but not always. Yeah, we're sort of quite clever sometimes in the way that we use phrases or words to manipulate what we want to say. Now that sounds malicious. It's not malicious. I don't think it is. Anyway, I love all this stuff. I think it's fascinating, and I talk a bit about it. I said I've got a video called "What Brits Say versus What They Want." What Brits Say versus What They Really Mean, which you should definitely check out. I'll link it somewhere around here. But this goes to something that I've wanted to do, which is really go in depth with my students about learning the subtleties and nuances of British English. Now, I do that on this channel as much as I can, but I can't do it in that much depth. So that's why I created my new 30-day challenge, Speak English Like a Brit, or Speak Like a Brit, the 30-day vocabulary challenge. So the course is a 30-day challenge, and it's designed to teach you one fabulous phrase every single day. Now, what you'll get inside is a daily lesson pack. So you'll wake up in the morning and there'll be a lesson waiting for you to open up. So there's a video teaching you one particular phrase that's specific to a certain situation, and we'll talk about the meaning, we'll talk about the pronunciation, I'll give you example sentences. Then there's a practice exercise, or lots of the practice exercises to give you an opportunity to use the phrase. Then there's a mini podcast which I've recorded with my sister Annie. Some of you guys know her from previous videos. And we talk about the cultural uses of this phrase, where it came from, when and when not to use it, examples of when we use it, stuff like that. So it's really getting to the heart of the phrase. And then there is an opportunity to use it in the live classes. We have live classes each week, and you can come talk about the phrase, give examples, and ask me questions, which is really fantastic. And there's a lovely community inside the course. And the reason why I've chosen 30 days is because over 30 days, you can really start to build positive learning habits. Now, I'm a keen reader and I love Atomic Habits by James Clear. I think it is one of the best books and one of the most transformational books because it teaches you the power of habit forming and how over a short period of time you can really start to build transformational habits. And so what I've tried to do is employ some of that thinking into this 30-day challenge. So hopefully you'll not just be learning English, you'll be learning positive learning habits as well. So guys, if you want to join the course, it'd be amazing to have you on it. If you don't want to do it, no worries, no problem. There's loads of free resources that you can use as well that I've got. For example, 101 great British words and phrases to speak like a local. But I've really put time and effort into this course to get to the essence of what Brits are saying. And if you're someone living in the UK, maybe you're working, studying, or you're coming here soon and you just want to feel at home here, I think this is the course for you. So the link is below this video. And if you've enjoyed this video, let me know. And if you have any stories about your mum that you'd like to share with me, I would love to hear them because I miss my mum and I like telling stories about her. I like thinking about her, but I love hearing other people's stories about their mum. So if you have one, leave it in the comments below. I'd love to read it. All right, guys, this is Teacher Tom from London saying goodbye.